All right. 15 seconds. Last 10. Thank you for staying at a level 0 and following directions. All right, who can tell me what was the difference? What do you think adding the sensory details did? How did it change the story from the first paragraph and the second paragraph?
You understand what the story.
Raise your hand. Anthony G, since you were done pretty quick.
What?
What was the difference between the first paragraph and the second paragraph? Hold on. I'm asking Anthony G.
It gives you like a more better perspective.
It gives you a deeper perspective. How did you feel when you read the first part? How did it make you feel? What was the story about?
Angry.
It was boring. Okay, then what happened with the added details? What did the story become to you? I know immediately how I felt when I read the second story. I'm looking for somebody to raise their hand and tell me what was the feeling that was evoked. So this tells me that the majority of you did not actually do the do now. I'm hearing a lot of people tell me what it does. I want you to tell me what it did for this specific story. What did it do for this specific story?
It helps create an image.
What feeling did it evoke? What kind of change was it? The first story was a grandmother and her grandson taking her up the stairs. What happened in the second story?
Can you imagine?
He pushed it down the stairs.
She touches her, she kills.
But what feeling? Was it happy? Was it positive? Was it scary? Was it creepy?
It was positive.
Okay, so right now, I know for a fact y'all did not read that paragraph. If you did it blindly. Okay?
I read it.
Go ahead, Aiden. Okay, here we go. It gave you an eerie feeling. And can I have someone in the classroom tell me, because that's exactly how I felt. I read it and I got this creepy feeling. All right? I was looking for someone to say creepy or eerie. Now, can I have a student give me 2 words or phrases in that paragraph that made it creepy or eerie?
Oh my God.
Morelli.
Pale skin and
Go ahead.
sweet coppery taste of blood.
Okay. Pale skin, sweet coppery taste of blood, damp hair. Okay? Breath that smells like stale cigarettes and bacon. All right? The mournful creak of the wooden stairs. None of that is positive. None of that is happy. So from the first paragraph where it just says there's a boy walking up the stairs with his grandma, to all of these slightly eerie, creepy details, suddenly you have an entirely different perspective of the relationship between the grandma and the grandson. Off you go. You gotta go to class. You gotta go to class. Thanks for visiting. Bye.
He was learning.
All right, let's move on. You have 2 vocabulary words today. 2 vocabulary words. The first one is figurative language. You are going to write into the box that's provided for you phrasing that goes beyond the literal meaning of words to get a message or point across. All right? Phrases that go beyond the literal meaning of words. Figurative language is used in writing to get a message or point across. Most of the time, that language is not what it's actually saying. So go ahead and write it down. You're just going to write down phrasing that goes beyond the literal meaning of words. It's figurative language.
Phrase that what?
This burden feels like I'm carrying a ton of bricks on my back. All right? Am I literally Carrying a ton of bricks on my back?
No,
No, it's figurative. And when you guys hear that, you know what it means. It means whatever I'm
You're
dealing with, whatever
carrying-
issue is, it feels like it's too much for me.
Yep.
Right? How about
I am literally crying.
I feel like I'm flying whenever I go for a run.
You fly.
I feel like I'm flying whenever I go for a run. What do we learn about that? If I say, I feel like I'm flying when I go for a run.
Figurative.
You're hallucinating.
Not necessarily, no.
You have a good feel.
You feel peaceful.
Yeah, you feel peaceful, you feel good when you go for a run, you feel energized, you feel
feel like-
free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free.
Who's got a good figurative language or a good figurative language phrase? One maybe they hear somebody say a lot.
I'm literally crying, but they're not crying.
That's true. I hear you say that.
Out loud.
What does it mean when people say I'm dead?
Miss, I'm dying.
I'm dead. What does that mean? What does that mean when I say that? You're dying of laughter. It's funny.
I'm dead as a
You're dying of this.
Alright, second word.
Laugh out loud.
You're gonna write this definition for a word called sensory details. Sensory details uses the 5 senses to add depth of detail to the writing. So we're gonna write that into the box right under sensory details.
All of it?
Wait, all of it?
No, just sensory details uses the 5 senses to add depth of detail to writing. And that's gonna go right here. Alright, so you're gonna write the definition of sensory detail right here.
And you read that
Or you're gonna write right into here. Sensory details uses the 5 senses to add depth of detail to writing. It's details that use all 5 senses. When you're done, put down your pencil so I know that you're finished so we can move on.
I didn't mean to.
Look, he changed shoes
I
though.
became a very
For
collector.
gym?
No.
But he changed shoes.
I'm a very collector.
Miss, how about a brush for one more than just his
I have a couple more students who are still writing.
I got
So give them just a minute. All you're writing is sensory details. Use the 5 senses to add depth of detail to writing. Some examples of this. Sight. The muddy socks were piled on top of the rug. Sound. The buzzing sound filled the air. Touch. The mud felt slippery and cold between my toes.
you.
Taste. The pizza tasted like cardboard. Smell. Her perfume smelled like flowers and vanilla.
I'm not doing it.
Leave your shoe on unless you want your
Alright.
toes What's up, man?
The smell of a Bem's shoes fills the air. Alright. We're going to use those 2 definitions in our work today. You guys are killing it. Stay focused. Alright. We finished our do now, where we looked at how sensory details affect writing and change the tone of a story. Alright? And you guys have added 2 academic vocabulary words to your brain dictionary. Okay?
Up here.
Yes. Now we're going to continue our unit on poetry, Manuel, by looking at a poet named Audre Lorde. Okay?
Yep.
Audre Lorde was an American writer. She was a feminist, a womanist, a librarian, and civil rights activist. She identified as a black lesbian mother warrior poet And she dedicated her